My daughter's school did not choose her to be valedictorian for graduation, and she is still salty about it. Her high school normally goes with the highest grade point average, but it can be between the top 5 students if one demonstrates high academic achievement, like winning a competition. My daughter was the leader of and won a national robotics competition, and being one of the top 1 or 2 students, she was sure she would get valedictorian. But the school broke away from their criteria by choosing a girl who had been in a car crash caused by a hit-and-run driver. The girl wasn't badly injured, but her mum died from the accident, and she went on to finish the year with good grades. She wasn't in the top 5 students and only took 1 AP class, whereas most previous valedictorians came from the IB or full AP course load. My son was valedictorian 4 years prior and also did full IB, so my daughter was really angry when she found out because she felt like it was unfair and also thought it was discriminatory because kids and parents had been complaining that only Asian students ever got the award. According to her, for the last 8 years, it was always an Asian who had won, and while my daughter is half Asian, so is my son. The school was trying to find a non-Asian to appease the families. She said she would have been okay with the other top 5 students winning, but to give it to someone with just above average grades when the criteria was about academics made her feel like she and the other 5, which according to her were all Asians, were discriminated against. I don't know if this is true, and I understand why it's unfair and even agree with it to an extent. But the girl lost her mother and still finished the year with good grades, and that should be recognised. Also, the valedictorian had been made public, and if my daughter tried to get it overturned, it would make her look like a sore loser. I did explain all this to her and told her she was going to MIT already with a partial scholarship, and everyone knew she was smart, so she needs to accept that sometimes unfair things happen. She was extremely angry at me for not going to the principal about this, and my wife was also angry because she felt like the school discriminated against our daughter. She is now in her first semester at MIT, and while she likes it, she says most people in her classes were valedictorians in their high schools, and she feels like she was robbed when she worked so hard. I thought she would forget it, but she seems to still be angry about it and not as close to me as before. Am I the idiot for not talking to her school about this when I could? Now, for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. Not the idiot. A situation like that, where you and your daughter try to strip a girl who survived a car crash and parental loss of the title, absolutely would have made the news and gone viral. I'm a PR professional and former journalist, so my prediction on how it would have gone down: badly for her. She'd get no public sympathy when it became known she'd already been accepted to MIT. The perception, fairly or unfairly, would be, what more does this kid want? And on the heels of the Supreme Court dismantling affirmative action, your family, she, would have also been exposed to discriminatory abuse online. There's literally no way a fight like that does anything for your daughter's future. Because if she'd pushed it, sure, she might have gotten the title, but she'd have lost so many opportunities. Maybe if you explained it to her in these terms, she'll see why it was smart you held your peace. Does it suck that school deviated from its usual procedures? Yes. Was she robbed? Likely. Is your wife right about the racism angle? Also likely, and in no way excusable by the school district. She's allowed to be pissed and disappointed. Your wife is allowed to be angry. Validate that, and it sounds like you did. Is it a lesson in what it's like to be a working adult, where you see people less skilled than you being promoted? Absolutely, she's got a bright future ahead of her, and in 5 years no one's going to remember it. Have your daughter focus on graduating summa finish laude. It's much more impressive on a resume than high school valedictorian, which most employers know has wildly different definitions across the country. Comment 2. No idiots here. Your daughter earned it, and it sucks that she didn't get this honour. That being said, what do? Make a scene to strip a car crash survivor of the honour and face the public backlash? The optics are horrible. In fact, the backlash you and your daughter would get will be remembered long after the graduation, while the other student being valedictorian will likely not. Your daughter mentions many other kids at MIT were valedictorians and she feels cheated, but MIT does not grade you based on your prior status as valedictorian. It's what you do in class. This honour will not change her application status. She was already admitted to MIT. Congrats, BTW. And how she does at MIT will have nothing to do with the title of valedictorian. I wouldn't blame her for being upset, but you are not to blame for trying to save your daughter from the grief of being a bad loser, even though she obviously is not. If it helps, you can discuss with the school how unfair this was as a policy matter. It may have been discrimination, and it would not be unwarranted to bring it up without needing to embarrass the survivor or your daughter, or your entire family. Comment 3. What could you have done? The only thing would have been to try to make such a big nuisance of yourself publicly and internally that they give in just to make the headache go away. I doubt it would work. And as you recognised, you'd be ripping the award away from this poor girl who lost her mother and still pulled through the school year. Wouldn't be surprised if that ended up making national news, since it had certainly played to readers' emotions, not the idiot. For one thing, it's just one of many times life will show her that, even if you do everything right, Life can screw you over. For another, she's in MIT. Nobody's going to give a shoot about whether she was Val. They're going to look at her college performance. Whether or not she goes to graduate school, when she enters the workforce a few years down the line, nobody is going to give a shoot about her going to MIT. Once you've worked a few years, your performance is what employers care about. Now for the update. So get this. My daughter, let's call her Mia, is now attending MIT and thriving. But something happened 2 weeks ago which was absolutely mind-blowing. Mia received an email from the very same high school she felt scammed her out of Valedictorian. Apparently, a local newspaper reporter was doing a deep dive into a series of controversial Valedictorian selections spanning the past decade. Her investigation eventually led her to Mia's year, and she started digging. The reporter discovered that the girl chosen as Valedictorian, we'll call her Sarah, had a father who was a prominent donor to the school. His name? It was plastered over the new gymnasium, something none of us had really questioned before. It was a shocking revelation that reeked of foul play. With Sarah's tragic backstory, no one thought to question her selection, but the reporter discovered emails exchanged between the school administration and Sarah's father, indicating a significant donation right around the time the valedictorian selections were under consideration. The school knew that giving her the title would simultaneously alleviate some of her pain and also be a great PR story, especially given the recent tragedy she'd endured. The story blew up, reaching even national news outlets. The school's reputation took a serious hit, and the administration was put under the microscope. Sarah, oblivious to this backdoor manoeuvring by her father, was devastated and humiliated. She had thought her academic achievements had earned her the title, not her father's influence. In the midst of this chaos, Mia received an apology letter from the school. They confessed to their wrongdoings, explicitly stated that they should have awarded her the valedictorian title, and extended an invitation to have a special recognition ceremony in her honor. But here's where my daughter surprised me the most. She rejected their apology and declined the ceremony offer, stating that she didn't need a title to validate her accomplishments. This ordeal, while initially frustrating and disheartening, has actually fortified Mia's confidence in her own achievements without needing any external validation. As for Sarah, she has publicly denounced her father's actions and has herself become an advocate for transparency in the education system, pushing for fairer practices. So it seems like the tables have turned. Wild, right? It's been an emotional rollercoaster, but I'm incredibly proud of how Mia has handled everything. As for me, I'm still questioning if I should have intervened earlier, but watching my daughter rise above the situation has given me a newfound respect for her resilience. Now for the comments. Comment 1. Not the idiot. As a father, you must be incredibly proud of the resilience and maturity that Mia has shown. While it's natural to want to protect your children from injustice, it's also important to allow them to navigate difficult situations on their own. The fact that Mia was able to handle this situation with such grace and confidence is a testament to her character, her hard work, and the values you've instilled in her. She didn't need the validation of a title to know her worth. It's unfortunate that Sarah's father chose to manipulate the system, but it's heartening to see Sarah standing up against such practices. This whole situation might have been a tough pill to swallow for both girls, but it seems like they're both coming out stronger on the other side. Comment 2. Not the idiot. It's terrible that Mia was cheated out of an honour she rightfully deserved, but the way she handled it shows a level of maturity and self-assuredness that is commendable. Sarah's actions too were admirable. It takes a lot of courage to stand against one's own family, especially in a public scandal. As for your role as a parent, it's normal to question if you could have done more. However, intervening earlier might have deprived Mia of the opportunity to handle this independently, which has clearly contributed to her personal growth. Comment 3. Not the idiot. This situation demonstrates a significant flaw in the education system where money can buy accolades, but it also showcases two resilient young women who are not defined by their circumstances. Mia and Sarah both exemplify what it truly means to be a valedictorian: resilience, integrity, and the courage to stand for what's right. Your daughter's rejection of the school's apology and recognition ceremony speaks volumes about her self-worth and determination. As for your role in this, it's clear that you've raised a strong, principled woman. Maybe you could have intervened earlier, but the way Mia handled this situation herself shows that she didn't need you to. Now for the next story. I, 29 years old male, have been with my girlfriend, 27 years old female, for 5 years. I honestly think she's the one, and have recently often thought about popping the question. However, a recent family gathering has made tensions high between our families. While attending my 26 years old male brother's girlfriend's birthday party at their house, my mother and my brother brought me to the kitchen and confronted me and told me that my girlfriend needs to dress more modestly and that they have a problem with her not wearing a bra. I'm not sure if it's because she's my long-time girlfriend, but even though she weighs around 160 pounds, her not wearing a bra has never stuck out to me before, and I hadn't even really noticed until they had pointed it out to me. My mother told me her breasts are too big for her not to wear a bra, and that even her boyfriend has commented on it before, saying that when she's in the room and because she's not wearing a bra, that's the only thing you can look at. My brother then confessed to me that his girlfriend, 26 years old female, also has had a problem with my girlfriend not wearing a bra, and that it has caused multiple fights between the two of them because she's afraid my brother's eyes will wander, and she secretly is afraid he likes overweight girls. I never thought of my girlfriend as overweight, and thought for her height she looked about average build for her weight. After hearing them say this, I couldn't help but feel angry on her behalf. My girlfriend has mentioned to me offhandedly before that she doesn't like wearing bras because they make her chest feel very tight and uncomfortable. I simply told my mum and brother, okay. I then went out to the party from the kitchen where we'd been talking and got my girlfriend and left. A few minutes after I got home, my brother called me, asking me why I had left, and I let him know exactly how I'd felt about their little talk with me. That I didn't think my girlfriend's body shape or the way she dresses is anyone's business, and that if people wanted to be creepy and stare at her, that wasn't her fault. My mum then got on the phone and told me that my girlfriend needs to have respect for other people and self-respect when she dresses herself. Mind you, my girlfriend had been wearing a t-shirt and jeans to this birthday party, that her weight and body makes people uncomfortable and she should dress to accommodate that. I then told them how important I think it is for my girlfriend to be comfortable in the clothes she's wearing, and if she can't be comfortable around my family, then we don't need to see them anymore. My brother and my mum started to scream at me over the phone, which evolved into a screaming match between the three of us. I don't think I'm in the wrong, but I wanted a second opinion in case I'm being dramatic or brash. So, am I the idiot for blowing up on my mum and brother after they said they don't like the way my girlfriend dresses? Now for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. Not the idiot. Good for you for sticking up for your girlfriend and firmly setting boundaries with your family. And you did an extra good job leaving the party immediately and not giving them a chance to speak to her directly. It's really weird and inappropriate that your whole family apparently sits around discussing your girlfriend's underwear and body regularly. This is not normal behaviour. Your brother's girlfriend's insecurities are her own problem to deal with, not yours or your girlfriend's. Your mum's boyfriend's wandering eyes are his problem to deal with, not yours or your girlfriend's. Your mum's weird ideas that bras equal respect are totally ridiculous. There are posts on here every day from women whose in-laws treat them like garbage and their husbands are too afraid of their families to do anything about it. Good for you for not being one of those guys. Out of curiosity, is your girlfriend perhaps of a different race or religion or social class than your family, and your mum is using underwear as a dog whistle for racism or classism? This is so weird. Comment 2. Not the idiot. I feel like there are so many inappropriate things going on here. First, if they absolutely felt it was necessary to have this conversation with you, why did they do it during someone's birthday party? I think they were trying to manipulate your response by doing this in a non-private setting. Also, your brother calling your girlfriend overweight and projecting his relationship crap onto your girlfriend is so insulting and just kind of pathetic. Your family just comes across as mean and insecure and petty drama starters. I think you handled this about as well as you could. Comment 3. That I didn't think my girlfriend's body shape or the way she dresses is anyone's business, and that if people wanted to be creepy and stare at her, that wasn't her fault. Your family seems to be garbing their own insecurities and prudishness as judgment on her choices. Imagine the same scenario where they wanted her to cover her head or tie up her hair for the fear of making people uncomfortable or attracting lustful gazes. It's not like she was wearing a bikini to a wedding. Your family should learn to keep their eyes on people's faces. Not the idiot now, for the update. So my girlfriend and I decided to attend an art event last week. It was one of those posh gallery openings downtown where you sip wine and pretend to understand abstract art. My girlfriend wore this beautiful flowy white dress, her favourite one, sans bra of course. It was cool, relaxed, nobody cared or noticed. People were too busy discussing the colour palette of the paintings or how the artist's brushstrokes reflected their inner turmoil. My mother and brother showed up unexpectedly, heard about the event from a mutual friend. They took one look at my girlfriend and immediately their faces contorted in discomfort. I saw my mother whispering something to my brother and knew instantly what was bothering them. It was the same issue again. My girlfriend's choice not to wear a bra. I tried to ignore it and enjoy the evening, but they cornered us during a quiet moment. They started lecturing her about how she was ruining the family image, and how can you attend such a classy event without proper attire. My girlfriend, ever the calm one, tried to talk to them, explain her choice. They weren't having it. With tensions escalating, my uncle, who had also attended the event, stepped in. I thought he was going to defuse the situation, but he sided with my mum and brother, even suggested we were being disrespectful to the event and the artist. That was the last straw. I was livid. We left mid-event, causing a scene, everyone whispering, looking at us. The irony wasn't lost on me. The people who were so concerned about the family image were the ones causing the biggest scene. I had another heated phone argument with them later, my uncle now joining the fray. Now they're demanding an apology. Not just for leaving the event early, but they want my girlfriend to apologize for her choice of clothing. I am at my wits' end dealing with their backward mentality. I'm seriously considering cutting them off, even if temporarily, till they understand they are the ones in the wrong here. The question is that too harsh? I mean, they're family, but I can't tolerate their constant policing of my girlfriend's attire. How do I get through to them? Now, for the comments. Comment 1, not the idiot. It appears that your family has a problem with boundaries. What your girlfriend wears is her business and not theirs. It's not their place to dictate or criticize her clothing choices, especially in a public setting like an art event. Furthermore, they should respect your autonomy as an adult and your choice of partner. If they can't do that without resorting to disrespectful behavior, then you're absolutely within your rights to consider cutting them off. You're not responsible for managing their expectations or prejudices. Your girlfriend doesn't owe them an apology. They owe her one for their unwarranted behavior. Comment 2. Not the idiot, but it's important to remember that dealing with family can be a complex issue. While you're absolutely justified in wanting to cut them off for their treatment of your girlfriend, consider first having an open and honest conversation about what happened. Let them know how their actions made you both feel and why you think they were in the wrong. It's possible that they may not even realize the extent of their disrespect. If they still refuse to apologize or acknowledge their mistakes, then you might want to consider taking stronger steps. Remember, you're standing up for your girlfriend and your relationship, and that's important. Comment 3. Not the idiot. It's clear your family crossed a line. However, before you make any drastic decisions like cutting them off, it might be beneficial to understand their perspective. This isn't to say their behavior was right or justified, but understanding why they reacted the way they did might help you better address the situation. If their concern is rooted in societal norms or expectations, it may be a good opportunity to educate them about personal autonomy and respect for individual choices. If they continue to disrespect your girlfriend and refuse to see their wrongdoing, then setting boundaries or limiting contact might be the best course of action. If you like this video, you'll probably like these too. Also, while you're here, please consider subscribing. It's your support that keeps this channel alive and allows me to make better and longer videos. Have a great day.